It's transforming. So Peter is encountering a situation that is exactly like what Jesus encountered. Someone's reporting their beloved has died. But it's not so much that Peter says, oh, what did Jesus do in this situation? Pull out his notes and do it. It's something that's happened to Peter where he has faith that just as he saw Jesus raise the dead, this dead could be raised. So the miracles that take place in Peter's life, somehow all of this comes together, and the religious leaders that want to arrest him and want to stop all of this, instead end up letting him go, but they say he was with Jesus, wasn't he? Something about him has come to remind us a lot of Jesus. In the end, to say being with Jesus changes you doesn't just mean that there's a mystical quality by which you become like him, or that your faith gets elevated because you see the world through his eyes. But it also is to say that you live your life with a conscious awareness of a place of belonging that you would not have except for being with Jesus. I told you, I think in the past several years ago, about a fun story that highlights this very principle. My friend and mentor Dudley Hall was invited to go to the National Prayer Breakfast, not because he was speaking or praying or doing other leadership functions, but because he was accompanying a musician that he and his wife, Dudley and his wife, have been friends with for quite some time, and Alison Krauss, famed bluegrass star, beautiful voice, and she was singing at the National Prayer Breakfast. And so she had invited Dudley to go with her. So they go through all this complicated security coming in, and they check in Alison Krauss. Oh, Alison, we're so glad to have you. He comes with security, and essentially they're saying, who are you? Why are you here? And all he said is, well, I'm with her. They check the list. Oh, you are. You're with her. He comes in, and while they're doing sound checks and Allison's getting ready, Dudley just doesn't have anything to do. So if you don't know Dudley, he's a big man, bald, goatee, and he's got a dark suit on. And he's got his arms folded like this, standing over the side. And he recognizes the man who comes to approach him, assuming, Dudley is starting to realize what he must look like there. He's looking like Secret Service or something. And so a man comes up to him, and Dudley recognizes him as the former mayor of Dallas, Texas. And the man comes up to him and says, excuse me, can I go back to that door back there, use the restroom back there? And Dudley says, no. Just to have some fun with him. And the mayor says, okay. Dudley says, no, I'm not working here. I'm just with her. And he introduced himself and said, I recognize you from Texas. And he sits at the head table next to the Vice President of the United States. Why? He's with Allison. To say you're with Jesus is to say you're becoming like him. It is to say that you're seeing the world through his faith and his eyes. But it also is to say that because you're with him, seated with him in the heavenlies, that you have been authorized to love, to serve, and to minister in his mighty name. It's not something that you strive for. It's not something that you set out and you just say, here are my goals of the ways I'm going to try harder to be like Jesus. Instead, it comes by just being with him. Being with Jesus changes you. Changed Peter. Changes us. And that's the gospel.